Hey guys, my name is Akil Stokes, Forex trader, co-founder of Tier1Trading.com, and of course, host of the Trading Coach podcast. I've got a very exciting episode for you today talking about mindset and talking about the proper way to develop as a trader, about what should be important first and foremost and what you should add after the fact. But before we get into that, I want to say a big thank you for all of the support that you guys have been giving. The show has been on an amazing run as of late, and that's all because of you guys. Now, if you're new to listening or watching and you're asking, how can I pay you back for such amazing free content? It's simple. Leave me a rating or review. Share this podcast, and if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. I know it's a very small thing to do, but that helps massively in us growing the show. It helps massively in us affecting and reaching more and more traders. And by reaching more and more traders, ultimately we're helping more and more traders really change their mindset about what trading is, going from that get-rich-quick stuff to what the reality of trading and business and entrepreneurship really is. So I thank you in advance for doing those things, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We want to go in. The question is, will we get the opportunity to do it? In the range bar charts, because of how they form, they just provide more opportunities. So we're on like a 15-minute chart, you may get one shot, and that's it. Range bar chart, you may get 3 or 4. And that just gives us the ability to have more chances to get in on a trade in the direction that we want to get involved in. Does that make sense, guys? And that's all we're looking for, guys. We're looking to make a prediction, and then we're looking for opportunities to get involved, right? I don't think the prediction is the hardest part. I think the hardest part is actually getting involved. I mean, many of you guys will do analysis every day. And let me ask you guys this. How many times have you done analysis and you predicted it to go the right way and you just never had a reason to get involved? How many times you looked at a chart and you're like, yeah, we're probably going to go bullish to this level. And then you wake up the next day, the market goes bullish, and like you never were able to get involved because you need something specific. I mean, that's the difference, and that's something that you want to work on. And it's not a negative, but if you can predict, right? If you can build your skill and be confident and comfortable making predictions, and if you see that your predictions come true most of the time, even if you're not making profit, you're winning. You feel me? You're winning. Because that's the main part, is making that prediction. Price is likely to go here before it goes there. After that, now you have to put in the work to figure out, okay, well, how can I develop more as a trader so I can get involved in these opportunities? And that's the more difficult part. I don't necessarily think it's difficult from a technical perspective. I mean, you guys are going to learn enough here at Tier 1 Trading to be able to do it. I think the hardest part of that is from an emotional perspective. I think many people will actually have reasons to get involved. They'll just stay out of it because of fear or lack of confidence, where they'll be like, I know this is going to go up, but I don't want to pull the trigger, right? I spoke to a trader, I remember last year about that. She was like, Akil, I've mastered the IPDE. I'm not saying that to be cocky or arrogant, but I've mastered the IPDE. Targets hit on Aussie Canada, by the way. But I've mastered the IPDE. Or the IPD, excuse me. I've mastered the IPD. I said, well, what's the problem? She's like, I just can't execute. She just couldn't pull the trigger, guys. She was doing everything right, but when it came down to it, right, when the target was in her sights, she just couldn't pull the trigger. So I think that's the toughest part. But I think if you can first work, if you can make the goal where it's like, and this is why I don't even think you should worry about trading. Worry about make good predictions. Spend your first year on the platform. Maybe a year is too long. But spend your first couple months on the platform going through trading material, Learn how to make predictions. Practice making predictions. Seriously, go through a chart every night, right? Random chart. And just say, okay, this is what I think price is likely to go, right? Draw two lines. Say, based on what I see, right? You draw a green line here, draw a red line here. And say, I think price is likely to go here before it goes there. And just leave it on your chart. Leave it on your chart and come back to it. You can do it on lower time frames for repetition. You can do it on higher time frames. It doesn't matter. Practice making these predictions and becoming comfortable with it. Don't worry about how to trade. Don't worry about how would you get involved yet. You can do that later. But be comfortable in reading a price chart and being able to predict where price is likely to go. Because I'll tell you what, after you're able to predict where price is likely to go, do you think you're going to be more or less confident? You're going to be pretty darn confident, right? Now, here's the difference between struggling traders and successful traders. Struggling traders will take that confidence. Oh yeah, I know where the market's going to go. The market has to go there. The market will do this, right? What do you think they do? Do you think they plan out trades and follow a rules-based system, or do they just pull the trigger because they're so good? They just pull the trigger because they're so good and they get into a lot of trouble. And then when the market goes against them, they immediately start feeling pain because how can I be wrong? I'm super genius trader. And they start making all these emotional mistakes, right? After you've mastered making these predictions, then start going back through those predictions. It's very similar to what we did earlier on the euro dollar, right? If you guys remember that from the first part of today's session. Go back to what we did during the euro dollar, go back through the opportunity and start saying, okay, how could I have gotten involved in this move? I knew what the market, or I had a good idea of what the market was likely to do. How could I have gotten involved? And that's when you go back and you're like, okay, well, I know Akil talks about this higher high, higher close thing. We had one right there. Gabby's always saying 26.18. That could have been a reason right there. I just took the foundation course. Here's that pin bar, higher high, higher close, right? And then start revisiting those lessons in the course. And obviously at the same time, you're trying to figure out what fits your personality. Are you more aggressive? Are you more conservative? You got to figure that out. That's part of the journey. But then you start dialing down on how you want to attack these opportunities. And now you've mastered making predictions as much as we can master it. We've mastered making predictions. You've mastered a specific strategy in how to get involved in these predictions that you're making. Now it's just psychology, right? The trifecta, the third part of the triangle. The holy trinity of trading, right? Now it's just psychology. How do I execute? I obviously, there's back testing all that stuff in there. You want to make sure what you're doing works. But now that I have an edge, not only in a mental edge and in the skill of trading and me being able to make predictions, I have a technical edge in a specific pattern formation or a specific occurrence that happens that tells me the market is more likely to do this than that. I have those two edges, right? How can I put myself in the position to consistently execute my plan and exploit that edge without error? And that's trading psychology. Now that part is easier said than done. I think the first two are a lot easier than handling your emotions because we're so directly rooted to money and ego, right? Would you guys agree? Making money feels good. Losing money feels bad. Being told you're right feels good. Basically, a compliment makes you feel good. Being told you're wrong makes you feel bad. It's just honest, right? If you walk around and you find a $20 bill on the ground, you feel happy. You just got $20 more than you had. If you're the other person, you come home and you realize, man, you lost that 20 you had, you feel bad. Just normal, right? You take a test. Teacher says, hey, Gabby, good job. You feel good. Thank you. You take a test. Teacher says, hey, Stuart, you're dumb. You feel bad. We're naturally, we have these connections. We have these pulls. And that's what we have to break. We have to break that. We have to understand that winning isn't necessarily good. Profit isn't necessarily good. Losing isn't necessarily bad. It's the process. And that's easier said than done. But hopefully, that's why we're here. That's why we come into this live room every single day. That's why we have such a great community of traders for you to listen to and interact with. That's why we have accountability sessions so people can share their stories and their struggles, and you can see that you're not alone. That's where the support comes in. And we're here to support you until you get to that level, not only in teaching you the skills, but working on the mindset. And that's why traders that come through our program have a much better chance of success than others. And it's only about 20% max that succeed anyway. So the odds are already against us. So I'm glad you guys are putting yourself in position to have a chance at being that 20%. Doesn't mean you all will. But you're putting yourself in a position to have a chance. Now the question is, how much do you want it? How bad do you want success? Do you sort of want it? Do you kind of want it? Or do you eat it? So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It was a discussion that we had in the live trading room where we had a bunch of new traders come in earlier in the week. Now, if you're interested in joining the live trading room, meaning coming in with either Jason Greystone, myself, or maybe both of us, and trading and analyzing the markets live each and every day, it is part of that 14-day trial membership over at www.tier1trading.com. You can go head over to the site. You can find the link in the show notes, but click it. It's a risk-free membership, meaning after your 14 days are up, there's no auto bill, anything like that. Your account is simply, pow, right? Dismissed, and you don't have to worry about any type of funny business. So I look forward to seeing you guys on the platform, and until next time, plan your trade, trade your plan. Take care.